Hey guys, it's Lena. This is going to be my part 2 video of my sexual assault experience. I decided instead of having a 4-part video, I would just put everything that was going to be in the next 2 videos until I got to 4 in this video. So expect to hear the ending of how it happened and my thoughts on the experience. So last time I left off at the part where he had taken me to a party. My ex-boyfriend and I ended up breaking up, and now it was my senior year of high school, and I wanted to talk about basically our relationship my whole senior year and the summer after, and then the next year into college, and that's when everything actually unravels. So my senior year, I think this is important to add. My senior year of high school, him and I interacted a lot. We used to hang out a lot. We used to go to the movies. We used to work out specifically because I wanted to get fit, and he was actually on a fitness journey himself. He actually lost a lot of weight, and I thought that was really awesome. So he started inviting me to the gym with him, and we would exercise. So during this time, we would hang out a lot, and because we started hanging out a lot, I guess, like literally almost every day to go to the gym, we started getting closer and closer and closer. He told me things and we started hanging out more. I started going to his house. He never really hung out at my house because I never hang out with my friends at my house to begin with. So I would always go to his house, and eventually the relationship kind of evolved and we started, I guess, being friends with benefits. I don't like that term because I didn't expect it to be that, and I didn't want it to be that. I expected, okay, so how it happened is he would invite me to his house at nighttime, which is super naive of me to even do. I don't know what I was thinking back then, but I would sneak out of my house and I would go to his house, or he would pick me up and we would go to the house and actually watch movies. But eventually one day, we would make out, and then things started escalating from there, and we ended up doing it, I guess you could say. And he didn't take my virginity, by the way, it was an intense relationship because I ended up actually liking him. Like I said in the last video, I guess my ex-boyfriend could see that I liked this guy because of my actions, and I didn't really see it until I broke up with my boyfriend, and then I started hanging out with this guy, and it was just, I don't know, it just happened and I kind of just went with it. And I was hoping that me giving myself up to him in this manner would I guess show to him that I really liked him, and I would actually ask him, we do this all the time. We basically act like a couple. We go out and we go to the movies, we go work out. We spent every single day together. And he just, I don't know, he just was like, yeah. He would come up with excuses and be like, yeah, eventually I'm going to ask you out. Don't worry, I'm just trying to figure things out, blah, blah, blah. Just dumb excuses. And I'd just be like, oh, okay, just waiting around stupidly, waiting for him to ask me to be his girlfriend. And I don't know what happened, but at some point in our relationship, this is the summer now, some point in our relationship during the summer, he started hanging out with me less. He would be like, oh, I'd be like, hey, do you want to go do this? You want to go running? Do you want to go to the gym or something? And he'd be like, no, I'm sorry, I have to go do something else with somebody. I made plans with somebody else. And I'd just be like, oh, all right, that's fine. I mean, I was used to hanging out with him all the time, so I figured, he had stuff to do. People have things to do. And little did I know that whenever he was distancing himself away from me, it was because he was seeing another girl. And I didn't know this at the time until one day he invited me over to his house and he kept messaging this girl. I didn't want to intrude because, I'm not his girlfriend and it's not my place. I liked him, but, I'm not possessive like that, especially if you're not my official significant other. So I just kind of played it off, but I, took note of it. And so I realized that whenever he was whoever he was messaging was this girl, let's call her Curls. He was messaging Curls, and I was just like, oh, I know that girl actually, because she had been in a previous activity that I used to be involved in, and I was just like, okay, she seems like a nice girl, but I never really knew what they were texting about. I just knew that they were texting, and I knew that he was her friend, but I didn't know that they would text this often, I guess you could say. And I kind of became a little self-conscious, and I was just like, okay, you know, he's hanging out with me, he's not hanging out with her, so it's not like he likes her. Like, it's probably just a friend, you know. I text my friends all the time, and that doesn't mean I like them. So I disregarded it and tossed that insecurity aside until one day I actually invited him over. So over this period of time, he's, you know, he slowly started distancing himself away from me, and eventually I would ask him like every weekend, like, oh, want to hang out? And this weekend, we had hung out the weekend before, so I figured we could hang out this weekend, and I asked him if he wanted to go to the Apple store with me to exchange my my charging wire, because if you didn't know, if you have a charging wire from Apple, you can exchange it for a free one and they won't charge you anything. It comes with your Apple warranty. Anyways, I don't know if they do that now still. Anywho, so I went to the Apple store, and I was like, do you want to go with me? And he said no. And I was like, oh, all right, I guess, okay. And he said, I have plans. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I can do things myself. I can run errands myself. You know, I just need to go to the Apple store. So I went to the Apple store, I walk out, and who do I see? Who do I see? I see Ass Hat there with curls, and I'm just like, but, you know, I was just literally standing, like, so the mall, you have stores on this side, you have stores on this side, and then you have like that little median area where there's a bunch of little tiny vendors. And the Apple store was on this side, and I walked out, and there was a bunch of vendors, and I saw them walking this way, like towards, I guess, the exit of the mall. I don't know. You have to know the mall to know. They were just walking this way, and I was walking this way. I ran into them, but they didn't see me, and I saw them holding hands. And in that moment, I literally, my heart dropped, and I was just like, oh my God. I cannot tell you, I cried so bad, because while they were holding hands, I saw them give each other a little peck on the mouth, and I was just like, I am the side hoe. He never does that stuff with me in public. But then again, he wasn't my boyfriend, and from what I knew, he wasn't her boyfriend either. And they weren't. They actually had been dating, I guess, behind my back. I'm pretty sure she didn't know anything about me, as I didn't know anything about her until that moment. And I don't know, I just felt like a rock in the pit of my stomach. And I remember walking, they passed by the store and they didn't even see me, and I saw them walk away, and I crossed from the Apple store, across the vendors, to the next store to hide in the dressing room, and I literally cried in the dressing room. It was the most ridiculous, sad experience I had ever experienced. I said experienced too many times, but I don't know, I just felt like complete shit, and I felt so stupid, and I was just like, how did I give all of myself to this guy, and for it to turn around and not even work out? Like, he's over here dating another girl behind my back, and I don't even know, and he's still trying to like hang out with me. When we do hang out, we would actually, you know, of course, play out the things that we would do whenever you're in a relationship of friends with benefits, or whenever you're in a friends with benefits relationship. So I felt used. I was like, okay, so he's over here dating this girl, and he's over here at nighttime hanging out with me, doing the nasty, and basically using my body. And I was just like, oh, damn. So when I found that out, I actually ended up when I found that out, the next week was supposed to be my college orientation. So I decided to move on with my life. I was like, okay, so since he's slowly distancing himself away from me, I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna move on with my life because he's doing the same. I wouldn't want to be the stupid one and just sit around waiting for him to ask me out. So what I did is whenever I went to my college orientation, I didn't even expect to meet anybody, but this guy ended up seeing me and he was like, hey, I thought you were really cute. I saw that you were in my group, my touring group to tour the campus. And I really thought that we should hang out sometime, or, you know, maybe you'll be in one of my classes. You know, he's trying to slide in all slick, and I was just like, oh yeah, sure. So we started, I gave him my number and we started texting, and I was just like, oh wow, this guy's really cute. Oh my God, like he's like 20 times cuter than any of the other, my past boyfriend or this other guy that I was messing with. And I was just like, ah, oh, he's cute. So I was like, yeah, sure, let's hang out. And you know, our little relationship started flourishing and it was all great and dandy and I was actually happy again. Like I was distracting myself. At the same time, I was kind of hesitant because I didn't want this guy to be like a sideline, like a what's it called? Rebound. There we go. I didn't want this guy to be a rebound, but I told myself I was fine with it and that it wouldn't turn out that way because I didn't think this guy liked me that much. You know, I was just having fun dating. So what ended up happening is literally a week into talking to this guy's like, hey, do you want to be my girlfriend? And I was like taken back because that's never happened to me before. Nobody's ever been that straightforward with me, and I was just like, so two things were crossing through my mind. I was just like, what the heck is happening? This guy likes me that much that he's asking me to be his girlfriend after a week of like just hanging out with him. And I was just like, that's crazy. I was like, I don't know. I wouldn't want to do it because normal me likes to get to know somebody before I date them. Because I'm talking about like 3 to 6 months of talking. And then I'm just like, hey, you want to make this official? Or, you know? But it wasn't like that. And I sat there, and in that split second that he asked me, I was just like, yeah, I do want to be your girlfriend. Because, and my thought process behind that was like, okay, Alina, just go ahead and jump into things, you know, do something you haven't done before, be daring, just do this. What if it turns out better than expected? What if this is a long-term relationship? Which, to break it to you, was not a long-term relationship whatsoever. I think it was like a month. But yeah, I didn't do that ever again. I never jumped into a relationship again. Anyways, I got into this relationship with this guy. We started dating, and we dated for like a month, and I was just like, you know, I can't do this, because literally right when I got into a relationship with this guy, Asshat, the guy that I was talking to that was dating this girl, I guess because I was posting pictures of me with this guy hanging out and, you know, going on cute little dates and stuff like that, was like, hey, who's that guy? And he showed some jealousy, and I was just like, okay. Part of me was like, and then the other part of me was like, well, what do you care? I'm trying to move on with my life just like you. And I brought it up to him, and he was just like, hey. I was like, why do you care? It's my life. We're not dating or anything, so what the heck? So what ended up happening is he ended up inviting me to a party, and he ended up confronting me and was like, hey, I don't really like that you're dating this guy because I thought we were a thing. And I was like, oh, you thought we were a thing? I thought we were a thing too, until I saw you at the mall with this girl, and you were holding hands with her, and it seemed like you were in a relationship with her. And he was just like, well, it's not like that, you know, blah, 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 basically making excuses. And I was just like, whatever. I was totally done with it. So what ended up happening is I got really mad. I ended up leaving the car. I was like, I don't want to be around you. I have a boyfriend. I don't even know why I'm hanging out with you. And it was just, I'm very dramatic, and it was dramatic to say the least. So he ended up was like, come back in the car, I gotta take you home, you can't walk home. And I was just like, he ended up taking me home or whatever. And after that, I didn't talk to him. But then, you know, that situation that had occurred between me and him that night stuck in with me, and I was like, maybe he cares about me, maybe, you know, he wants to actually, maybe he doesn't really care, maybe he was just dating to see his options, you know, just giving myself excuses to feel better and feel like he did like me indeed. And I don't know what I was thinking, but, you know, I ended up coming to terms that I didn't feel comfortable with the relationship I was having with this guy that I met in college, because I was just like, you know, it's not fair to him. I'm just gonna go ahead and break it off with him and just not date him, because I don't want him to be a rebound. He said, I don't want to be a rebound for your past relationship, because I told him the relationship I had with this previous guy, asshat. And he was just like, well, this happened really recently, I wouldn't want to be a rebound. And I was like, after that incident I had with asshat, I was just like, yeah, no. I don't want, just in case this guy is a rebound, I don't want to hurt his feelings, so I'm gonna break things off. And I broke it up with him. Fast forward to, this happened in November or August and September, so the beginning of the school year. And then let's fast forward to November and December. So the end of November rolls around, finals week is coming up in December, and this guy who I broke up with from college actually was in my class the whole semester. So after I broke up with him, I had to sit in a class with him. It was awkward because I saw him flirt with other girls in class, and I was just like, okay, all right. Meanwhile, I was dealing with this asshat situation, and I decided to distance myself away from this guy, asshat, and start using Tinder. So November rolls around, the end of November rolls around, it's finals week. Finals are coming up the next week in December, and what do you know? I'm about to go to New York for my aunt's birthday party, and this guy that I was dating in college comes up to me. The guy that asked me out after a week of dating him comes up to me and is like, hey, what are you doing? And I was just like, what do you mean? What am I? He didn't talk to me the whole semester after I broke up with him. And here he is, hey, what are you doing? I wanted to talk to you. And I'm just caught off guard, of course, because I'm just like, what? And he's just like, I actually enlisted for the military, and I wanted to see if you and I wanted to rekindle our friendship. And I was just like, yeah, sure. You know, I don't like to hold grudges. I don't like people hating me. So I was just like, you know what? Let me be a grown adult. I'm in college. So I'm going to do what they do and become friends with my ex-boyfriend that I had for like a month and try to be civil about things, because I was like, I've never been friends with an ex-boyfriend before, so I'm gonna try this. You know, he was first for a lot of things. And yeah, so I tried being his friend, and what do you know, he's just like, hey, I think it would be really cool if we started dating because I actually really like you still. And I was just like, this is not what I need right now. But because I craved emotional attention and I just wanted somebody to love me, because I was still hurt inside after what I had seen with asshat and that girl Curls, I was just like, F it, let's just go ahead and do it. So this guy, it's December time, finals, literally a week, like the week of finals, he decides to be like, hey, we should start dating. And I was just like, okay. This is gonna be a first time that I'm gonna get back together with an ex. So he was the first time me getting into a relationship with a guy after 1 week of knowing him. He was the first guy I got into a relationship again to try to rekindle the relationship, if it would work again. Yeah, no. And let's just say that it didn't work because of what happened the night that everything happened, the reason for this video. So what ended up happening is we ended up having a good relationship. Everything was going fine and dandy. And then one day, I'm telling you, this guy messages me. I'm talking about the fuckboy, asshat, the character that this whole story revolves around. He always messages me whenever I'm at my peak of happiness. I'm like, oh, okay, my life is finally settling down. I'm having a good life. You know, things are finally going back to how they're supposed to be, you know? Like, but no, he fucking ruins everything. Oh my God. So he messages me, it's like, hey, my friend blank is having a party, and blank is this girl that we both knew, and I had gone to her parties before with this guy, asshat. So I was just like, yeah, sure, it'd be nice to see her again. Oh my God. So I go to this party, and this is the night that everything goes to hell, basically. And hopefully I don't cry, because every time I tell this story, I cry. But, you know, let's just try to get through it. So I show up at this party, I drive there. He doesn't pick me up because I'm just like, no, I don't need to get picked up. I have my own car now. I'm just, if I feel uncomfortable, I want to be able to leave willingly, like with my car. I don't want him to be like, no, stay around, blah, 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 let's talk. And then he chooses when I go home. Yeah, no, that wasn't gonna fly with me. So I end up going to this party. I'm in a relationship with this guy from college, and he doesn't know. The thing that happened with my ex-boyfriend is happening again. I'm going to a party, my boyfriend doesn't know. And I don't know why I didn't learn the first time, but, you know, yeah, let's just keep on going with the story. I'm dumb. Show up at the party, see him. I'm having mixed emotions because one, I haven't seen him in a while. Two, I know that he has been playing with my emotions because, well, he's been playing with my emotions in general. I don't know if he was doing it on purpose, but I'm not in the right state of mind to see him to begin with, because I really liked him. Like, I really genuinely liked him. Like, my world revolved around him. And then it was shattered when I saw him with that other girl, who he ended up dating, by the way. He was dating this girl for the past 5 months whenever I saw him at that party. He had a girlfriend, I had a boyfriend. I needed to make that clear because it is important throughout the rest of the story. Sorry, I'm getting a little heated because I'm mad. So I go, I start drinking. It's not really a party, by the way. It ended up actually just being the girl, his friend, let's just call her blank, her boyfriend, and asshat's best friend, and asshat. So I was just like, alrighty then. This is a small get together. They're all drinking, they're playing beer pong, and then, you know, I'm feeling kind of okay because, you know, this other girl's there. But she ends up leaving in the middle of the party for some reason because she was fighting with her boyfriend or whatever. So it's just me and all these guys at this party. And, you know, that's not a very good situation to be in to begin with because, you know, I don't know. They could gang rape you. Thankfully, they didn't. But, you know, I didn't know the intentions of that girl's boyfriend or what kind of past he has or how perverted he is. I didn't think that asshat would ever do that, but he did that night. So I was drinking a lot. I was feeling all sorts of emotions, and I felt uncomfortable, to say the least. And I ended up going to the restroom because he told me something, I can't remember, but it made me upset, and I was like, I have to go to the restroom because I wanted to cry because my eyes started watering. And I guess he saw, and he just looked at me and he followed me to the restroom, and I was like, what are you doing? Get out of the restroom. I don't want you here. I need to be alone. I'm gonna go to the restroom. I told him like an excuse. He's like, no, you're not. He's like, I see you. You look like shit. You look like you're about to cry. You look like you're about to have a mental breakdown. And I'm just like, get out. He's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? he's like getting in my face, and I don't know about you, but me, when I'm upset, I do not like people up in my face asking me what's wrong. Like, if you're this close to me, asking me what's wrong, interrogating me, I'm gonna punch you. Like, because I'm mad, I'm upset, I have all these emotions. I love this guy. I feel like, oh my God, I miss him. I miss the times we had together. I wish he would have been mine. And then at the same time, I'm like, damn, I'm stupid. I'm dumb for even coming to this party. Why did I set myself up in this sort of situation to begin with? So I'm conflicted with all these thoughts in my mind. And I'm just like, I need some time to compose myself. And he's all up in my face, and I'm just like, get away from me. And I ended up just slapping him. I was like, get out of my face. And he was just like, what the heck? What was that for? I was like, you're not listening. You're not listening to me. First of all, I'm pissed. And he's like, well, tell me why you're pissed. And of course, I was like, because you were supposed to be my boyfriend, and here I am. I've had like a few drinks already, and back then I couldn't hold my liquor because, one, I weighed significantly less than I do now, and two, because I was a lightweight and I didn't drink that much. And I had just all these emotions just bottling up inside of me, and finally I just slapped him, and I was just like, everything came spewing out, and I uncontrollably started crying. And he was just like, I was just like, just leave me alone. I want to be alone. I've gone through so much with you, and I don't even know why I came to this party. I was emotionally distressed. I was like, I liked you, and you ended up slapping me in the face. I told you I wanted you to be my boyfriend, and you took all of that and literally backhanded me, metaphorically, of course, and started dating this other girl. And I told him all of this, and I don't know what he was thinking, but I don't know. I still don't know. So finally I ended up composing myself. I locked myself in, I managed to get him out of the restroom. I locked myself in the restroom, cleaned myself up a bit, and you know, just, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try this again. I'm gonna be here for like 30 more minutes, so it's just not awkward, and I'm gonna leave. So I get out of the restroom, and he's just like, hey, we're gonna play beer pong, want a drink? So I'm just like, okay, fine. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Here I am playing beer pong, and guess who's my opponent? Asshat, of course. And we're playing beer pong, and I'm just like, oh, at this point I'm just mad. I'm just like, I'm gonna beat him, F him. I hope he fucking loses. I hope he gets wasted. I hope he regrets this night. Like, oh, you know, I'm just so mad. And I'm just, of course, all this anger's not helping me at beer pong. And two, I'm not good at beer pong to begin with. So I'm missing all my shots. And since this guy goes to parties literally every weekend, maybe 2 times a week on Saturdays, Fridays and Saturdays, he has so much experience at playing beer pong. So he's over here whooping my butt, making all them cups. And I'm just like, I'm drinking, I've had a few drinks already. I'm drinking all these cups because he's made the cups, obviously. And I'm getting more and more intoxicated and more frustrated, and I have all these emotions already in my mind. I'm thinking about them, and I just feel defeat. And then finally I have 1 cup, and he's just like, if I make this, you have to kiss me. And oh my God, when I tell you, I was freaking fucking mad. Oh my God. I was just like, I looked at him and I was like, you're disgusting. Like, you have a girlfriend, I have a boyfriend, and you're over here messing with my emotions, saying, if I make this cup, you have to kiss me? Boy, no. As much as I miss that, because I miss the emotions that you made me feel, no. What the heck? Who does that? I don't know about you, but in my opinion, I would consider that cheating. It's not as severe as actually cheating, but that's cheating in my opinion. Like, why would you be kissing another girl? I'm your girlfriend, you should be kissing me. So I was just disgusted. He was like, he knows I have a boyfriend, and he has a girlfriend himself, and he knows that. He's been dating her for 5 months. Who is he to tell me to kiss him? So here I am, man, hoping that he fucking misses it. I have all these emotions, and all I remember is he throws it, it lands, and I just looked at him, and at this point, I'm so drunk. Like, I am so drunk. Like, my words have been slurring for the past couple minutes, this whole game. And I knocked out. I literally knocked out. I don't remember if I walked away from the table, it could be like because I was just mad, or if I just knocked out in front of the table. I don't know what happened. All I know is that when I woke up, I was in a room. My head hurt because, you know, nobody was there to catch me. And he was on top of me. Okay, so how do I describe this? My back was laying on the bed. My feet were off the bed. So here's the bed, here's my body. I have my feet hanging off right here, and here's my back, right here. So my feet were dangling, and what do you know? He was on me, inside me, having sex while I was unconscious. That's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And I'm over here half conscious, I'm like coming in and out of consciousness, and finally when I realize what's happening, I am just like, I was so mad. So mad. Oh my God. I got up so quick and I was like, what are you doing? I looked him straight in the eyes and I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're taking advantage of my body while I'm unconscious, when you know that I'm emotionally feeling distressed because I fucking love him. I love him. And I loved him so much that after that experience, oh my God, you won't even believe. You will not even believe what I did. But back to the story. So here I am, just fucking mad. I'm just like, what are you doing? I get up and I'm just like, my drunk self, I try to push him. I try to find my leggings because my leggings were like, I don't know. I push him off me and I'm just like, I pull up my leggings because I was wearing leggings. And I was just like, I walk out, I stumble out, and I'm just like, where's my phone? I don't know where I left my phone. I was like, I need to call I need to call somebody. I'm in danger. My drunk, disoriented mind was like, I need somebody to help me. I am not capable of driving home. Someone needs to help me. So here I am. I finally found my phone on the couch. I'm dialing. I'm just like, I'm calling my coworker. I call my brother. My brother doesn't pick up because it's like 2 or 3. I don't know what time it was. It was probably like 4 o'clock in the morning at this point. And I'm just calling and he doesn't answer. I call my coworker and I'm just like, it goes to voicemail. And I'm just like, Noah. I'm just like, sorry. I'm just like, help me, please. I'm in danger. Oh my God. And I'm telling her all this, and you know, I leave her the voicemail, and I guess I didn't realize that I didn't click end, and he's just like, what are you doing? Stop. It's not what you think. And I'm just like, what do you mean? I'm like, get away from me. Like, you're disgusting. Like, who do you think you are to try to make this sound what you did reasonable? Like, no. That is gross. What? You have a girlfriend. I have a boyfriend. And you're over here doing this shit to me. Unconscious. I did not tell you yes. Last I checked, I knocked out. And you were on me. How does that look? So he ends up I end up calling my brother. He ends up picking up, and asshat takes the phone away from me. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna take her home, blah, blah, blah. Okay, she's too drunk to drive. I'm going to drive her car for her. I mean, I don't know. I guess that's nice, but like, what the fuck? Did you think driving me home safely to my brother after what the fuck you did is gonna make me, you know, like, oh, you know, he drove me home safely, so, you know, let me disregard everything that he did that night. No. What the fuck? So yeah, he drives me home, and I don't know what to even think. Like, by the way, let me just tell you the real tea. Oh my god, forgot to even mention this. When this all happened, it was the night of my birthday. That's fucked up. And all night, I actually had been waiting for him to tell me happy birthday, Alina, because, you know, I memorized all the information about him because, you know, when I really like somebody, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna memorize their birthday so that when their birthday comes along, I'm gonna be like, happy birthday, I care about you. No, didn't even tell me happy birthday. Great. Pendeja, right? So here I am. The next day passes, and I'm just like, I felt like dying, honestly. And I haven't told anybody this. Well, I have. I told my psychiatrist about this actually a few days ago, because I actually went to get treated for my depression that people have been telling me that I have, my depression and anxiety. And I think my medication is actually what's been helping me not cry. That, or it's the fact that I've been telling this story so many times to myself preparing. I haven't uploaded this video because I didn't want to cry on camera. I don't want to be that girl. Like, oh, she uploaded a video on YouTube and she's crying about her sexual assault. And I know people are like, well, it's okay for you to cry. And then there's some people that are freaking assholes on the internet and they're like, she just wants it for attention, blah, 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 blah. That's the whole reason for this video series. And no, it's not. If I wanted attention, I would have told this when it happened. But it's literally 4 years later. Yeah, this year is gonna be 4 years on my birthday. It's gonna be 4 years that it happened. And I personally, I'm like, if you watch video 1, you would know that this whole reason for this video series to begin with is because the Kavanaugh and Ford thing that went on, and that just kind of sparked my interest, and I was just like, she was basically in the same situation as me, except she wasn't unconscious. She was actually awake and experiencing it all. I don't know if she was raped or not. She just said she was sexually assaulted. I was sexually assaulted, but I was raped. Yeah. If you don't know what sexually assaulted means, well, in my sometimes sexually assaulted could mean you were diddled. That sounds too playful for such a serious allegation, or such a serious word. You know, it could be that. But in my case, I was raped. It was penile and vaginal intercourse. And yeah, I just don't want people, because in this time and moment in my life, I felt so freaking dirty. Like, I just felt disgusting. And I felt like I was so ashamed. I didn't even tell my mom until this year, 2018. This happened in 2014. Yeah, because it was before New Year's. This happened in 2014. And I didn't tell my mom until 2018. It's been 4 years. Or 3, because my birthday's at the end of the year. But yeah, that's crazy. Like, I have kept this secret for so long. I did tell my boyfriends after that happened, because, you know, I want them to know just in case, because, you know, I'm not gonna talk about it. because, yeah. But yeah, so after this all happened, after it all happened, the next day I actually had to go to work, because my job isn't, I was a lifeguard and we had an indoor pool, and of course we didn't expect anybody to come to the pool on December 30th, but because, you know, I worked at a gym where a bunch of rich people work out and stuff like that, so most of them probably left the country, or they're not going to be worried about going to the gym or swimming for that matter. So that day I spent the whole day in my office, and my coworker that I called, she was actually there, and she was like, "Hey Alina, I got your message. What was that about?" Like, she was worried, of course, because I was panicking in the voicemail, and she replayed it for me, and I was just like, yeah. I told her what happened. I was like, I was taken advantage of, and I woke up in the middle of it, and I was freaking out, and I was intoxicated. I'm not gonna lie, I was intoxicated. I needed somebody to come and pick me up, and he ended up taking me home inside my car, and having his friend drive his truck, and he ended up hopping in the truck. Like, his friend followed us to my house, and I was just like, yeah, so that happened. And she was like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" And I just kind of, I said I was okay, but, you know, of course I wasn't. And I don't know, if you see me itching behind here, it's because, I don't know, it's a nervous tick. I do that, and I play with my hair. I'm just like, it's also really hot in here, by the way. So that day I just stayed in the office because there was nobody in the pool, and I was just like, oh my god. I was just remembering what happened and how it all happened to begin with, and why I put myself in that situation. And that's the day that I broke up with my boyfriend. I was just like, hey, the guy from college, I was like, hey, no, this is not gonna work out. I told him I lied to him, and I told him I cheated on him, because in my mind I felt like it was my fault. I was like, I did cheat on him because I put myself in a situation where I wasn't supposed to be to begin with. Why was I meeting up with this guy at this party when I had a boyfriend? I was sneaking behind my boyfriend's back. So I was just like, this is my fault. I put myself in this situation. I had intercourse. I had intercourse, because in my mind at the time I was just like, well, I've had intercourse with this guy before, so the fact that he did it when I was asleep is like, you know, it doesn't count as rape because I've had sex with him before. But no, that's not the case, because as I thought about it, you know, in the back of my mind I was still thinking like, you know, this is fucking wrong, this is disgusting, I didn't deserve this. But somehow I made myself believe that it was my fault, and I broke up with my boyfriend, and I was just like, yeah, this is not gonna work out, I cheated on you. And he was just like, what the heck? That's so fucked up. And I was just like, I'm sorry. And I ended up blocking his number because I just couldn't put up with explaining what happened, and I was not in the emotional state to even explain it. I did get back to him later on and tell him actually what happened, because he actually ended up being my friend. Not right now anymore, because he's a fucking asshole. But I ended up explaining to him later on what had actually happened, and he was like, wow, I really wish you would have told me. Of course, you know, all the stuff that people say. Anyways, so that day, the important part, the stupidest thing I ever did is I wrote him a letter, asshat. Not my ex-boyfriend that I had just broken up with that day, no. My heart was not really worried about him. I was just like, you know, he just thinks I cheated on him, but no big deal. My heart was more worried about asshat in this traumatic situation. I was just like, I'm gonna write him a letter. And that day at work, I brought my laptop because I knew people weren't gonna be at the pool, and I watched this movie that I had been wanting to watch, and I watched Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind. And basically the movie's about this guy and this girl who meet. This girl is going through some emotional trauma or whatever. I don't know what happened. Can't really remember. But she ends up deciding that she wants to erase her mind, because she wants to erase her memories that she had with that guy, because they're just too painful to remember. And not that they were traumatic or anything, but they have like a falling out and she just doesn't want to remember that time in her life. And I remember writing him, I was like, I think what you did was really messed up. I can't believe that you raped me. I really wish that you would say sorry, because I ended up trying to call him the next day while I was at work, and I was like, I can't believe what you did. I was like, can you please say sorry? And he was just like, even though you didn't admit that what you did is what you did, he didn't want to admit that he raped me. And I was just like, what a fucking asshole, man. Like, at the time I was just like, I felt like, what the fuck, like, maybe I'm the wrong one, but no, I'm not the wrong one. No. See that manipulation right there? He talked me out of thinking that it was his fault, and he made me think it was my fault. So I wrote him a letter saying, I'm so sorry. Okay, so basically I wrote him, I was like, dear blah, 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 dear asshat, I love you so much, no matter what. I hope you know that I will always love you for the rest of my life. Oh my god, that was so funny. No, I do not. I do not love you whatsoever. You are a fucking asshole. Thank God that I'm starting to go to therapy to talk about this stuff, because it's important to talk about. It's something huge that happened in my life, and 4 years later, I'm finally getting therapy for it, because it still affects me to this day. I don't know what he thought, like, that it wasn't gonna affect me. It's like, oh no, she's never gonna remember this again. No, I hope if you watch my videos, because I know you used to watch my videos, and I know you stalk my Instagram and watch my Instagram stories. You're a piece of shit, dude. You really are. I'm sorry. I'm not your friend. I wrote in the letter that I would be his friend for the rest of my life, and if he ever needs me, to just call me or text me. No, don't call me, don't text me, because you've been doing that all through the years after you did what you did. And you've been messing with my emotions, and now here I am, fucking messed up in the brain. Literally. I went through a depression, and I have anxiety. I'm pretty sure it's not directly because of that, but because of other factors in my life, but that plays a huge part in why I feel like my life is falling apart. That's another story. I'm not gonna get too deep into that because I don't want to make you guys depressed. Oh my god. So I wrote him this heartfelt letter telling him how much I love him, and I wrote in the letter, by the way, I hope I watched this movie, Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind, and I wish that what happened in this movie would happen to me, because, and I was like, P.S. you have to watch the video to know what I'm talking about. So I ended up leaving this letter on his windshield on his car, and I ended up calling him. I was like, hey, I passed by, what are you doing? He answered for some reason, which he usually doesn't answer, because, you know, he has a girlfriend, so he's trying to hide his side hoe. So he was like, did you key my car? He automatically thought I keyed his car. Yeah, I should have keyed your car, actually, because that's what you deserved. But no, instead I was actually writing a heartfelt letter to say that I accept your apology, even though you never said sorry for what you did. You still haven't said sorry for what you did to this day. The people I hang out with, man, like the people I associate myself with, I'm dumb. I don't know if I'm dumb or if I just hang out with shitty people. So I leave this letter on his car, he reads it, he ends up watching the movie, and he's like, I don't get it. And I was like, I wish you would erase from my mind. He's like, that's kind of messed up. And I was like, it's not messed up. We may have had wonderful memories throughout the whole summer. You may have introduced me to so many things, so many new things in my life. But I honestly wish the memory of you and everything we ever did would just erase from my mind, because then I wouldn't feel this much pain every time I think about you. Because every time my memory of him is tainted by that one experience, and I don't know what's wrong with him. Did he think it wasn't going to affect me? Like, what the fuck? Like, do you not think about your intent, like your actions? You know, to this day, his girlfriend still doesn't know that he did that, and they are still together to this day. I think they've been together for like 4 or 5 years. Like, damn. sucks to be her, especially if he put me through that mental and emotional manipulation. Imagine what she's going through. I know that at one point they broke up. Don't ask me why. I just know. But they broke up for a while, like 2 or 3 months, and she was over here crying over him because he told me. Sorry, I have to spill the tea. And then they ended up getting back together. And just so you know, I still ended up being friends with this fucking person, asshat, for the next 2 years, 2 or 3 years. I stopped talking to asshat in August when I started dating my current boyfriend. Yeah. Last August, 2017 is the last time I talked to him. And you know what he did? The last time I hung out with him, we ended up going. We ended up meeting up. He ended up calling me and was like, hey, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm actually gonna go to a club with my friend. And he was like, oh, can I tag along? And I was like, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be around friends. I'm not just gonna be around him by himself. He's gonna be with my crowd for once. So I was like, sure. So I invited him. He was intoxicated when he got into the car with us and we picked him up. And we went to a club and we were dancing, and the whole time he tried to grab my ass, and I was just like, don't touch me. Do not touch me or I will beat your ass. And guess what he did? He touched me, and guess what I did? I fucking slapped him against the face and kicked his balls because he's an asshole and he deserved it. And I had all that tension pent up inside of me, and I was just like, I need to release this because I cannot stand that he's going to disrespect my body again after what he's done. Does he not remember? Does he not remember? He's a fucking retard. Sorry for using the word, but he's dumb. Sorry for all the other cuss words, by the way. And that night I actually had to drive him back to his house alone, and because we all rode in my car, so I dropped everybody else off. I had to drop him off because he lives close to my house. And he was like, you know, I've been watching this TV show called that was a tipping point. I was like, no, we're never talking ever again. He told me about this TV show, Friends from College, and it's about these this guy and this girl in college who used to fuck around, and then they both ended up going into relationships, and still, while they were in relationships during college, would still fuck around until they were actually like 40 years old. And I was just like, so you're trying to say to me that we used to fuck around, so you think that we're still going to, you expect us to still fuck around years to come whenever we are married, like just like in this show. I was like, oh my god, that is disgusting and so sad for you to think so low of me. I'm sorry that I made you, that I gave you that assumption, that I gave you that, I don't know what the word is. I'm sorry that I perceived myself to be that type of person, but F no, I am not. And from that night on, I watched the Friends from College TV series on Netflix. Watch it, it's pretty good. And I was just like, F that. Nope, never, ever, 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 ever going to talk to this guy again. And I am proud to say that in August of 2017 was the last time I talked to asshat. And since then, my life has been amazing because I got rid of the toxic people in my life, which was asshat, by the way. I don't know. Life has just been so much better without him. My relationship has lasted such a long time. Since the whole situation with asshat, I've been in several relationships and none of them have lasted more than a year. I ignore asshat and now I'm in a healthy, get this, healthy and long relationship. Congrats to me for finally putting a stop to the BS and living my life to its best potential. Yeah, this year wasn't great emotionally. because of my depression that I just got diagnosed with and my anxiety that I just got diagnosed with, but you know, I'm being medicated, so hopefully it all turns out well and my life gets even better. But I'm happy to say that I've been in a relationship with my boyfriend for the past year and few months, and I am happy because he has showed me what real love is like. He is so patient, so kind. He understands everything I've been through, and he empowers me every day to be a better person. Even though sometimes, you know, he may drive me crazy. It's because, you know, I do live with him, so, you know, that's expected. But I'm so happy to say that I know what real love is. Because what I thought was love back then was such an emotional roller coaster compared to what I have been through with my current boyfriend. I cannot stress this enough because I don't know. I'm just so happy. Has there been some times that Asshat has tried to contact me? Yes, he has. At the beginning of my relationship with my current boyfriend, I never saved Asshat's number in my phone, but I knew when he would call because I knew his phone number. I still know his phone number. If he was to call me today, I'd be like, that is Asshat. And you know what the ridiculous part is? Is that I would block his number. Get this. I used to block Asshat's number, and I actually blocked it because I tried throughout my other previous relationships to like distance myself away from him. But you know what he would do? He would call me on star 69. And I don't know if you know this, but if you block a number, but they call you under the star 69, you know, little thingy, it actually does not stay blocked. He can still get through the line. So I would get unknown number, and dumb me would be like, hello, and he'd be like, hey, what are you doing? I'd be like, what the heck? I went through deleting your number, well, blocked your number, then deleted it so that I wouldn't have the urge to try to call you when I was emotionally feeling some type of way. And here you are being a freaking creep calling me on star 69. Still, he's still in a relationship with this girl, and he was still in a relationship with that girl at the time, and you would still call me. How fucked up is that? Yeah, super fucked up. While I was trying to get my life situated and, you know, become emotionally stable again, he would always come back and shake up my world and be like, hey, let's hang out. And I'd be like, just when I thought I was happy, I'd be like, am I happy? I kind of miss him, actually. Well, I'm gonna go visit him. No, not allowing that whatsoever. 2017 was the year, and I'm so happy because although my life went downhill on other things, on that, I have been good, and I am happy to say that. I do see him watching my Snapchat stories throughout the whole summer that just passed. I saw him watch my Snapchat stories, but I'm pretty sure now he's back in school, so he's not going to concentrate on me because, you know, school first. Props to him for that, but stop watching my Instagram stories. It's weird. I see you creeping. Stop creeping. You have a girlfriend still. Yeah, that's my tea. I hope you enjoyed this story, people, because it was a crazy one, especially experiencing it. To any girl that's in that situation, I hope that you find the strength and willpower to just drop a guy like that. Like, I respect the girls that are just like, I'm not gonna let him talk to me. And I'm just like, respect to you, girl, because I was dumb and I let that shit affect me. And look at me now. I'm in therapy talking about it. Be strong, please. Be strong. Because fuckboys out here are wild and they're on another level. Anyways, guys, that's the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned something from it, especially girls. I mean, guys can, of course, benefit from this video because there's some crazy girls out there. Let me just tell you that. Anyways, until next time, have a good one. I'm done talking about the story. Thank God. I decided to just do it all in one video. I feel great. Bye.